Hey my queenies and my goddies, it's me Remy and I'm back again with another video. If you want to learn 5 tips on how to remain true to who you are, continue to watch this video. So let's get into it in our girl chat today. So the tips that I have right now are 5 tips that I have used personally to help me overcome, I guess, a really hard time in my life where I was actually forced to lose myself in order to I lost myself and I was forced to find the tools necessary in order to find myself again. You know what I'm trying to say? So I personally want to be able to share the tools that I have acquired over the last couple of years, and especially within the last year especially, and I want to be able to share that with you guys because I know, similar to myself, that a lot of women it's pertaining to women, but this can apply to everybody. It can apply to men as well, you know. But for women, I know that a lot of women with what I'm about to say can relate to, or relate to me and have similar stories, you know what I mean? So with me particularly, for those who don't know, and for those who don't know me and for those who do know me, I have a almost 4-year-old daughter, and this is a lot for me, okay? So I have a almost 4-year-old daughter, and obviously I share a child with somebody else. The person who I was in a relationship with for that certain period of time was very abusive to me, emotionally, physically, mentally, financially, everything, every aspect. You know, so during that point in my life, I literally came to a point where I had lost myself, and I was broken down in every single aspect. I didn't know who I'm still figuring out who Tamara is, because every day we're evolving, we're changing, we're growing, and so on and so forth. But anyways, during that time I really had lost myself, and I'm still in the process of finding myself. And literally it's a daily process. It's something that you have to do daily, and it's something you have to invest in, really and truly. Like, you can't, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know, like, you know how they have treasure chests, and like you have to go find the treasure and blah, blah, blah. Picture a map, picture fucking all the destinations you have to go through, all the paths you have to take in order to get to that X. You know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of like similar to my journey, what it is. Like, I'm lost in the dirt, I'm lost in the mud, I'm fucking trapped miles and miles and miles away in order to find, you know, I guess to find myself, you know. But anyways, we're gonna start with we're gonna start with number 1 first. Okay, so tip number 1 is to take time to yourself. I feel like you have the ability to be your own best friend. You know what I'm trying to say? You know yourself best. You know what works for you. You know what's good for you. You know when something's wrong. Like, you have to be very intuitive with yourself in order to make the necessary changes. Like, for me, I had to hit rock bottom to be like, I'm not acting like myself, and I don't understand how in the fuck or how in the God-given world did I get here. You know what I mean? It took a lot of isolation, but the thing is, the isolation wasn't intentional. Like, because of my situation, I had friends and I had my support, but I was forced to be by myself, because at the end of the day, you cannot make any changes unless you decide to make the changes for yourself. Like, you can have your support and people can talk to you and encourage you and blah, 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 blah. But if you decide not to make the decision for yourself or do the work necessary, nobody can really help you. As terrible as it sounds, nobody can really help you, you know? Okay, so for like me, for instance, I had to sit down and analyze my situation. Sorry, sometimes when I talk, I really feel like I have an accent. But I wish I had an American accent. This is such a side note, but because it's a YouTube video, I don't even business. But like, my mom is Jamaican and my dad's American. I feel like I have more so like, not an American accent, because I wasn't born in America, so it's not heavy. But like, I just feel like when I'm talking, sometimes it feels like it. I don't know. It just feels like it. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Does it sound like I have one or no? Sounds like I'm begging, but I don't give a fuck. I'm partly American. I'm in our business. So anyways, so I mixed the two. Anyways though, so anyways, for me personally, I had to sit down and analyze my situation and be like, how in the world did I get here? You know what I mean? I literally had to lose myself in order to find myself, and I did that through, you know, building my relationship with God and analyzing my situation. I'm gonna read off my list, and I had to understand the current mindset that I was in. I was trying, like, you know what I mean? Like, literally, I took that time, and I still do. I still make sure that I dedicate time to myself, like, daily, to kind of analyze my behaviors and my patterns and my mindset and, you know, my habits and so on and so forth. But anyways, yeah, to sit down and understand your current mindset, and you need to figure out ways to change your perspective and how you view situations, how to figure out ways to change your situation, because if you're not happy, and, you know, figure out ways to change personality or whatever. Because for me, for instance, in being in a relationship with this person, I noticed that they have a lot of negative characteristics. They have a lot of, who's calling me? Oh, sorry. I have a lot of I had a lot of negative characteristics. Actually, sorry, I adopted their negative characteristics, their lifestyle, their mindset. You know, I became very impulsive. I became very aggressive. Like, every single thing that this person was, it started to seep into me. And one of my friends told me, and it kind of hit me differently, but she's just like, Tam, she's like, you need to get rid of him. You know, he's just gonna be a big cloud over your life. That's what it was. Like, I think, as I said in my previous video, that we don't realize how much we allow other people's energies and mindsets to seep into our existence and our being. You know what I mean? And it's really, really, really fucked up, because that's how you end up losing yourself. You can't be so invested and involved in another person that you end up losing yourself. What type of foolishness is that? You know? And it's easy. It's much more easier said than done, but that's what I'm trying to say. Make sure that you instill these tips and utilize these tips so that you don't get to a point of being, you know what I mean? Like, it's always like a, you know what I mean? Like, it's always like a, you should have like a self-evaluation day. Anyways, so tip number 2 is you need to remember who you are. And this tip is very near and dear to my heart, because I feel like with me, within the last couple of years, I went through something, you know, very traumatic and very life altering to myself. That'll be in a whole other story time. I know you guys are probably like, oh my god, what's the tea? Don't worry, guys, tea with Remy just now. So with me, I felt like I was going through something very traumatic in my life, and it came to a point where, like, I felt like I was an ultimate, it's kind of emotional for me, but, you know, I felt like it was an ultimate breakdown mode, because I feel like when you're going through traumatic things, you can rely on yourself and you can rely on God, you know what I mean? But within this time, when you don't know who the fuck you are lost. You can't even rely on your own self for good judgment, for good nothing, you know what I mean? And I feel like in that way, you're kind of forced to go and ask your support or go ask your friends. But at the end of the day, if you can't make decisions for yourself, it's kind of like you're either allowing other people's opinions to influence your decisions, or I feel like that's literally just it. But anyways, when I was going through something traumatic in my life, I had nowhere to turn. I didn't know what to do, and I just felt very hopeless, you know. But anyways, and I feel like that's what a lot of adults do. I feel like whenever we go through something that's very traumatic or very painful in our lives, we allow that to deter us from fulfilling our purpose or embarking on our journey, or, you know what I mean, essentially just living our lives the way we're supposed to live it, you know. And that leads to my second reason as to why, you know, this tip is my favorite tip, because I did not get this tip from my favorite movie, but when I was actually, I guess, I'm not processing, but I was actually thinking about the tip, I was like, oh my god, this links to my favorite movie, which, for those who don't know, is Lion King. Lion King is my favorite movie of all fucking time, to the point where, like, this quote is tattooed on me. Like, it's right here, you know, and basically it says, remember who you are, look inside yourself, you are more than what you have become. And within that movie, everybody knows that Simba encountered something very life-altering, very traumatic, very painful. You know, he lost his father. He ended up, you know, adopting this, I guess, kind of fuck off mentality. Like, I don't care. Everything that's causing me pain is in the past. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to live my life the way I think I'm supposed to live it. And, you know, it wasn't until he had to face that fear and face, as I said, a life altering thing that happened. Yeah, it wasn't until he did all of that to where he was able to like receive his blessing and more so live the life that was destined for him. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, at the end of the day, he had a whole kingdom to inherit, and he could not inherit that until he faced his past and faced the things that deterred him. You know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like when we go through painful and traumatic things in our life, the only way that we're going to overcome it and conquer it is by facing that fear, facing that problem, facing the thing that's trying to prevent us from becoming the better version of ourselves, or, as I said, like embarking on our journey, or fulfilling our purpose, or living the life that's destined for us. You know what I mean? So and I feel like that's a lesson that I had to, I guess, essentially learn, and that's a tip that I had to apply to myself. And for me personally, it was difficult, but one thing that helped me remember who I was is that I had to sit down and pray, number one. And I had to ask God to help remind me of the things that brought me joy, that brought me peace, that brought me happiness, that helped create the whole existence on who I am. You know what I'm trying to say? And the way when he did that, he reminded me of various different sports and activities and hobbies that I like to do. And I can say that, for instance, like, he reminded me that I love to play soccer, that I also do gymnastics, swimming, dancing, whatever. And I can say that within this year that, you know, I signed up myself for dance classes. I did that. I can say that I enrolled myself in a swimming class. I completed that. Like, little things like that. You need to sit down and be like, hey, what are these things that make me happy? What are these things that bring me joy? And then you need to figure out how you can, like, go about implementing that in your daily schedule, or just in your in your daily schedule, or things like that. So for me, that's essentially what it was. One thing I'm gonna add is please do not allow your circumstances to define you. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, at the end of the day, your life still has to be lived. I'm not saying that doesn't mean you need to take time out to heal and do the things that are necessary for your, you know, mental state and your peace and things like that, but don't allow those things to prevent you from living your best life. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. I'm so sad. I was thinking about it. I'm just like, holy fuck. I don't know. Because it's something, for instance, in my life that I have to accept within myself, to say, hey, I am an abused woman. I have been beaten up before. I have been punched in the face before. I have been kicked before. I've had a broken ankle before. I have had everything. Like, I've had what else? This is not even like more so like, hey, I'm trying to bash this person. It's like, no, this is my fucking life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But anyways, I don't want to make this tip depressing. I'm just saying those are things that I have gone through in my life. And you know, I can't allow that to define me. You guys see how I'm smiling when I'm saying that? It's not like oh my god, this bitch is crazy, she's saying all these things that she's been through and it's funny to her. No, it's more so like, I can't believe that I can't believe that I'm able to sit here and say, hey, that's something I overcame. And that's why I'm trying to say to you guys, don't allow those things to define you. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep moving forward. And understand that you'll make it. You know what I mean? So, as I said, you have to sometimes lose yourself in order to find yourself. So, hey, Queenies. So the third tip that I have is that you need to get out of your comfort zone. For me, I feel like I have a very spontaneous, adventurous, optimistic attitude, and I love to try new things. I love nature. I love I can say that I'm very, once upon a time I was very active. I feel like it's still in me. As I said, what I just said, you need to remember who you are. I think I'm just lazy, you know what I mean? But that's something I need to work on. So yeah, I think you need to get out of your comfort zone, try new things. For me, as I said, in being in an abusive relationship, and for those who have been in an abusive relationship, your partner tends to isolate you a lot and wants to be in control of every aspect of your life. They want to know exactly what you're doing. They want to know where you're going, who you're with, you know, and you basically have to fucking report to them. I am fucking 23 years old with a fucking pitney. Do not ask me no blood clot questions. Do not do it. It's not cute. It's not cute. It's not cute. It's not cute. And like, it's not even like I'm wanting like I'm big and boasty, but it's come to a point where it's just like, you can never allow anybody to have so much control over your life. Like, this is gonna be in a whole other story time, but this person did something to me that was extremely life altering to my health. And from that moment where I had to take time to recover, I was like, I can't believe that this happened to me, and I can't believe that you know, I'm forced to sit here and be stagnant. Like, I'm forced to not make any move. Individual knows what they did to me. They know that I'm in a place of vulnerability and healing, and I, you know what I mean, they can easily access me. So like, at this point, at one point, I was basically like, I don't, like a prisoner. That's what I feel. So I feel like over time, when I realized that I couldn't do it anymore, I'm like, Tamara, I'm like, you're gonna have to try and take these little steps and kind of like do things that make you happy. As I said, get out of your comfort zone. As I said in tip number 2, I was saying that I had to ask God to remind me of the things that made me happy, and for him to remind me of those things kind of gave me the next tools to be like, okay, you know what, he reminded you of who you are and what you like to do. Now let's see how we can incorporate that into your lifestyle now, you know. So for me, as I said, I signed up myself in different activities. I was trying different things, and I was, you know, just even if it's little things like going out for a walk, or going to the mall, or hanging out with friends, or going to go do some self-care, pamper yourself, like go out to parties, like go out to you know what I mean, just do those little comfort zone, try things. Okay, because listen, in order to change, you need growth, right? And in order to grow, you need to take risks. If you do not take risks, you're not going to grow. It sounds like whatever, but it's really true. Like, you can't have any results. And this is the 3rd fucking time that I've heard this saying today, that insanity is the process of eating the same things but and expecting different results. So if you're in a place in your life where, you know, you want change and you want a different result, and you're gonna really just have to step out of your comfort zone and try different things, you know. 4 is that you need to love yourself at all times, you know. Yeah, you need to love yourself at all times. It's very crucial. It's very vital. I feel like you cannot. It's very important that you love yourself at all times. And I don't know if you guys have. I think it's called an analogy. I don't know if you guys have heard. I need to go back to school. I don't know if you've heard like this. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but anyways, there's this example that they give where you have a glass, and let's see. Okay, the glass is half full. You can either look at it as half full or half empty, you know. And I feel like for me, I had to, like, bro, when I mean I would invest in this person and I would give them every single thing that they wanted. I would give them emotional support, mental support, physical support, anything that he wanted, like, he would get. And it's not to say, yeah, like, he was taking advantage. Well, even if he was, men are business, because at the end of the day, that demonstrates more of your character than mine. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that for me, I literally had my cup empty. Like, there's literally periods of my life where I was in drought, like dry season. Like Africa, when Africa is dry, it goes dry for months at a time, you know, until the rainy season comes again, you know. And I feel like this is my rainy season. But yeah, like literally, when I did not have a drop to give to myself, I did not have a drop to give to myself. And you need to be at a place where your cup is overflowing at all times, and if whatever overflows is what you're able to give to other people, you know what I mean. Do not wait until your cup is dry to be like, I'm thirsty. No, your cup needs to be full, baby girl, all the time. I'm gonna go get my water bottle and just show you guys how full it should be all the time. Okay guys, so this is my water bottle. This is a 2.2 liter water bottle. You need to, this is like a health note, you need to drink a full bottle, 2.2 liters. I think it works out to 355 something milliliters a day. Am I right? Yeah, It's not even on here, the fucking sticker. Anyways, yeah, but you need to drink this thing daily. And that this replenishes everything. And I even noticed that when I don't drink water, like my skin starts to break out. I feel tired, I feel lazy, I feel dehydrated. Like all it just goes to show you that when you start to take care of yourself, you start to reap the benefits. If this cup is empty, or if this bottle is empty and there's nothing for you to give, y'all gonna dry up. You know what I mean? Like you have to love yourself at all times. And some ways that I use in order to love myself at all times. It's hard. It really is hard, because there's a lot of times where I'm like, yo, I fucking hate myself. Like just yesterday, I'm like, I hate myself because I was allowing somebody else's negative attitude to seep into my energy and into my peace and in my world, and the rest goes on. So yeah, and then yeah, it's really hard. But one thing that you can do on a daily basis is daily affirmations. I do it with my daughter. You know, I'm gonna show you guys this as well. So like, I'm not gonna, oh my god, my eye, no sir. You know when you like feel like you have something in your eye? That was ridiculous. So anyways, so these are just her cards. You can, just to show you an example, I'm not gonna read them, but you can like get colorful cards, you know, write different sayings on them. This one says, I am special. You can color it and just make it like appealing to your eyes, so that when you pass it, you're like, oh hey, let me read this today. I didn't read it today. For me, for instance, since I'm an adult, you know, I have it written down on my my window. Like I have little sticky tabs or whatever, sticky pads or whatever it is, and then I stick it on my window, and it says stuff like, I'm confident, I am beautiful, I am intelligent, I am inquisitive, I am insightful, I am giving, I'm generous, I am, you know what I mean, like I'm a child of God, etc, etc, etc. They're all reinforcing, positive reinforcement, or self-love, that's what I call it. But anyways, yeah, so you can do daily affirmations. You can be loving to yourself. At least really try, even on those days where you know that somebody got the best of you, or those days where you're not feeling good about yourself, or those days where, you know, you just need to pick me up, you know, it's good to read. And remember, this one's a big one. This one hit me differently, as I said, if you're religious, but to know that you are a child of God hits you differently, because you know that you have a lot to inherit, and you know that at the end of the day that God is going to do everything in his power to love you, to protect you, to guide you. The same, like, there's so much more different things that he's going to do for you, but understand that the same way that a loving parent takes care of, the way that God is going to take care of you. You know that you can always go to him, you know that you can confide in him, you know that you can go to him for comfort, and etc. So the last thing, I want to make sure I'm still looking cute, you know what I'm saying. So the last tip, which is number 5, that one I'm gonna have to read off of my notes, but that one is to be confident and to be you. That one is really hard, because I think everybody's understanding of what being confident is more so like she's confident, she goes after what she wants, or she believes in herself. That's a big one. That's what most people's idea of being confident is believing in yourself. I feel like that's one aspect to it. For me personally, I'm on a confident woman journey, and this year I purchased a confident woman devotional. So basically, for those who don't know what a devotional is, it's like it's basically words of encouragement that you read throughout the day, that you meditate on. For me, for instance, I read that this is my 3rd devotional, but this one specifically is impacting me in a different way, because it's teaching me how to be confident. As I said, this time last year, I never thought I would be in a position like this, but God is talking to me differently, and he's like, hey, you know what, I feel like this is something different that you should embark on in your life. And I really just had to take that leap of faith and be like, okay, I'm gonna listen. Normally I'd be like, no, I don't want to, and be hesitant and blah 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 blah, but now it's like, okay, I'm ready to run with you. Like, what is it that you have in store for me? What is Tamara's journey supposed to be like, you know? So anyways, what I'm about to read is something that you can keep in mind in order to help you become confident, you know, which will essentially help you be who you are supposed to be. So the first thing is that being a confident woman means that you need to be positive. You need to be positive. Second thing, you need to know that you are loved, you are valuable, you are cared for, and you're safe in God's will, right? A confident woman knows that every unknown is an opportunity to learn more about yourself and your abilities. I'm gonna say this: a lot of women have a tendency, me included, to compare yourself to other females, especially in situations where, you know, you're in a relationship and you end up getting cheated on. That is bound to happen. You're gonna be like, oh, I'm not good enough. Why me? What is it that I didn't do for him to cheat on me? Like, you start to put the blame game on yourself. Don't do that. Do not do that. Even not in a relationship and you don't get cheated on. Don't compare yourself to other people, because everybody's journey is different. God blesses everybody with different capabilities, different abilities, different strengths, different weaknesses. Everybody is different. Nobody will ever have the ability to say that they have walked a mile in your shoes. Your experience is different. Everything about you is different. So understand that, as I said, as it said, the unknown is a possibility for you to grow. So say if, for instance, you are good at doing hair, and somebody else is good at doing makeup, but you're too busy focusing on the fact that you cannot do makeup, that you end up blocking your own blessing. I know it's you guys are probably like, how in the hell does this relate? Because I'm thinking about it in my mind right now. But yeah, understand that you're blocking your own blessing by wondering or figuring out or worrying about what somebody else is able to do and what you're not able to do. You know what I mean? Like, your vision is different. The dreams that God has for you is different. Like, you guys just have your own lane. You know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, as I was saying as well, and the other tip is that in regards to this, every unknown, is that if you don't take that risk, you will not grow. And say if you get faced with an opportunity to try something new and you don't, you're like, I don't want to say you're setting up yourself for failure, but you're missing out on what God can have in store for you, because you're too worried about what other people are thinking, or you're scared, or you're fearful, or whatever the friggin' case is. So anyways, you need to focus. Oh, this kind of ties into what I just said. You need to focus on your strengths and not your weaknesses, okay? And with your weaknesses, you need to be able to improve on your strengths. And with your weaknesses, you need to sit down and ask God for that guidance and say, hey, can you please make me in these areas? That doesn't mean that every single weakness that you have that you're going to become strong in. But I mean, it's all a balance. You need to focus on what you are capable of doing, and not focus on what you're not capable of doing. You need to hold on to a strong faith in God, most definitely. You need to recover from your setbacks. Minor setback for a major comeback. TI. You need to avoid comparisons, and you need to understand that you are unique. And the last is that a confident woman is not afraid to shake things up. Me included. At times I was so comfortable, and I didn't want to get out of my boat and shake things up a little bit. I didn't want to get wet. I didn't want to drown. I didn't want to do nothing. But I feel like when God speaks to you in a different type of way, and He's instructing you to do certain things, you need to. I feel like, yeah, you need to listen, because you at first it may be fearful. You may feel fearful, and you might be like, why? Like, I don't want to do this at all. I'm comfortable. Understand that being comfortable is very detrimental to your health, mentally and emotionally, and I don't want to say physically, but you will never embark on new journey, not be willing to embrace new things if you're not willing to shake things up a little bit, and you know. But anyways, those are my 5 tips on how to remain true or stay true to who you are. I hope and I pray that this word can touch somebody today, that you guys can actually apply it to your life. And you know, just let me know what you guys think. Let me try it out. Let me know. Leave it down in the comments below, you know. So anyways, my cuties and my goddies, I love you all, and I'll see you in my next video.